Hello, welcome back to the Sunday Live interview. I'm very happy because since August on 2019, I got more 1,000 viewers and 4,000 minutes in viewing. So it's time to introduce you a great guest that is changing a lot women lives because with her books, with her consultation, has gave more opportunity to stay well and healthy to many women around London and the UK. So it's time to check your diets and don't waste time anymore in a silly diet. So it's time to introduce the lovely and amazing Leonie Wright. Welcome and go to okay.
Hi, Christian. How are you?
Wow, I'm very fine. I'm very happy having you here.
Excellent.
And
Lovely to see you.
me too. And you know why, Leonie, I want to invite you today because
Tell me, why?
yes,
Why do you want to invite me?
because now people they need to stay alone eating a lot.
I know.
So
It's Christmas nearly.
yeah, in fact, after Christmas they need to stay fit and because the spring, the summer will arrive very soon. So they eat a lot at home, a lot of food with friends, and then they need to stay very fit and well. So today is the right day for our viewers, our friends, followers to follow your suggestion, your idea, your expertise. But I suppose few of my viewers they don't know you. So please, Leonie, could you introduce you, speaking who you are, what you're doing, and your plan for your future? So you have the opportunity to introduce you to my guest. Thank you. It's your time. Go.
Of course, I will very happily introduce myself to your audience. My name is Leonie Wright. I'm a nutrition coach and I'm the founder of Eat Right, which is a nutrition consultancy for women in Surrey, basically. So I stop women from going on diets and instead I help them to make long lasting changes in their eating habits so that they, first of all, can get healthy. Secondly, lose weight. And thirdly, look and feel great and be happy in life, have energy, do the things that they want to do. And food is your medicine. Food can mean a lot to you. And many people have forgotten the importance of eating healthy and eating the right foods. Now, you asked me about my plans for the future, but I want to tell you a little bit about my past because I think that will be really interesting for your viewers. On 12 years ago, well, nearly 13 years ago, I started on my own health journey. Ever since my youngest son was born, I was on high blood pressure medication. And I'd been on high blood pressure medication for about 14 years until I went to the doctor and they said, now your cholesterol levels are gone up, Leonie. You need to take medication for that. And I said, really, I don't really like taking medication. Can I not find other ways and see if I can help myself to get fitter through other ways? So I did lots of research and then I probably the interviews or the people that are watching will detect an accent. Well, I'm from Holland, so that's a
Ah,
little
wow.
accent. Yeah, I'm from Holland. I'm Dutch, but I speak English and French and
Yes.
German. So lucky me. But anyhow, I went to the doctor and he said, you need to go on statins. And I didn't want to. So through a family member of mine, I came across a healthy eating plan. Which is currently now the Eat Right plan. So I followed that. It's normal foods, no meal replacement, just basic foods in a certain way. And after 3 months, my blood pressure came down, my cholesterol level came down, and I used to suffer from migraines, and they disappeared as well. So I was like, wow, just by changing the way that I was eating, drinking more water, cutting out sugar. But it was amazing. And I thought, oh, I was so enthusiastic about that. I thought, I have to tell more people about it. So at the time, of course, I was living in the UK. I translated the whole plan into English. And in the meantime, I've written a couple of cookery books as well. I've just got my third one, but we'll be speaking about that later. But I thought I need to share this to the world. So I started my business in 2010, so nearly 11 years ago, in which I mainly focus on women over the age of 45, like me, who want to improve their health, but also want to lose some weight. For me, my health was more important because I wasn't overweight, but as a result of just
Ah,
eating, it was just amazing. So, what are my plans for the future to tell more and more people about this? That food is so important. At the moment, as I said before, I've just written my third cookery book, which is called
ah.
Cook Right Forever, but more about that later. And I want to sell many books, of course, because if you follow the rules in this book, which is full of different types of recipes, you can become much healthier and fitter. So I hope that answered your question. It's a little bit of a long answer, but I feel it's important for your audience to know where I come from.
Thank you. Is yes, is the right answer that I could imagine. Is beautiful and it's very interesting. Yes, because you revealed something unique, but that nobody take care. In fact, we have always followed diet, or we go to buy some stuff in the poor and cheaper discount. But I noticed, for example, that I need to eat more food to keep nurtured myself. And the reason is maybe that you reveal now is why this kind of stuff, this food, is has not any nutrition, and then my body need more amount of food to keep fit and healthy. So what's happened? I started create um, cycle vicious where I eat more to feed myself, but instead to keep fit, I get fatty.
Yeah,
Eh, eh,
that is true, and that's probably if you buy the wrong foods in the supermarket, foods that are not nutritious for you, foods that are maybe full of sugar, have the wrong fats in them, and are processed, and they are not foods. They're often the nutritional value of those foods is so small that plus you have an addiction because sugar is something that I recommend if your viewers want to know. It's the first thing that you should cut out of your diet because sugar makes you feel fat or makes you fat in the long term if you don't use up the sugar in your body. It's a very simple explanation. I know but it's a much more complicated process, but it basically comes down to that. So it's important that you have lots of protein in your diet, fish, nuts, and seeds, that you have healthy carbohydrates, so vegetables and fruit. Drink plenty of water, that's very important, and have good fats. And the good fats are, for example, the fats that you find in nuts and
ah,
seeds, in fish, avocado, and even in grass fed butter. Doesn't mean that you can lump loads of butter on your bread. No, you can't. You still have to be a bit careful because everybody can understand that if you have too much of anything, it does not do you any good. So I basically advise my clients to eat the least processed food. So it's a funny story about this because what I often say is don't buy anything that your grandmother would not recognize in the supermarkets. And then there is a lot of stuff that you won't buy because that's highly processed, because it's full of, of E numbers, but a lot of E numbers are very nasty for you, like monosodium glutamate, which can be very harmful for the body. The wrong salt can also be very harmful for the body. So there is, if you eat that way, Christian, then I can give you some tips and your audience as well.
yes, yes, of course. I need. Exactly. In fact, how I told to you and my viewers, uh, the reason that I wanted to interview you is about how to stay fit, but
Yeah.
not just after Christmas, because our I learned a great lesson. uh, it's not the junk food or um, the food that is not appropriate food affect not just our body but our mind and our decision.
Yeah.
In fact, as you told before, the sugar is one that can affect our body, but not just the sugar, the meat that is processed by chain. I remember I worked in Italy in a supermarket, and I was always busy at work, so I need to eat a lot proper food, but lot meat because I need to have a heavy muscle. So I started eating the meat bought in the supermarket. I noticed my mind get crazy. I was confused. Then I read about the meat, how it's processed. I give up eating meat, just fish, vegetables, rice, so on. After only 1 month, I detox my body, my mind. It was so fresh, so focused. And since then, I never changed my diet. Just
That's why you look so well on it, Christian. Well done, you.
thank you. Yes, well, because I know I'm not married. This one is the reason. No, I joking, no. So now you have mentioned about sugar. Especially this moment, people got crazy because they're stressed. The more are stressed, more our mind drive our body to eat more sugar. In
Yeah.
your opinion, how we can change these habits step by step, maybe in 3 steps?
The of course you mentioned a very important point, which is about your health and your well-being, and your physical well-being is not only determined by the foods you eat. If you know the explanation of the World Health Organization, health is determined by your social, mental, and physical well-being, and the physical part, which is the food, is only a third of it. This is a big question, actually, that you're asking me. What the main thing is, because your brain and your body, they work together. I feel that if you give the body the right foods, the brain and the mind will also get better. As I said before, sugar is one of the things that you need to reduce or basically cut out. Processed foods, you experienced that yourself. You were thinking, oh, I'm going to, and people often, because there's so much conflicting information about, you were thinking as a young man, I'm going to eat all this meat, but you didn't know that processed meat can be full of nasty stuff. Then you started to do fresh. So that's another thing: fresh fruit, fresh vegetable. I always prefer to say to my client, buy organic if you can afford it. But it's not so good to buy organic that comes from the other side of the world. It's better to buy local, fresh from your local farmers market. That's another thing. And to make these changes in your, I think you need to do step by step. There are a lot of things you can do, and of course it depends on each person, how they eat, what their diet is, and also how much exercise they do, because it's all in balance between the amount of exercise you do and what kind of foods you eat. And I know that 80% of your health is determined by the foods that you eat, and also your weight. Now, a lot of people, of course, at this time of the year, there are lots of mince pies around, which is lovely. It's a typical seasonal food that we eat. But a mince pie, just one normal one, has got about 4 teaspoons of sugar in it. Now,
Oh,
just maybe interesting for your clients to know, or your viewers, is that when they go to the supermarket and look at the back of a package, they see the nutritional value. If you look under the carbohydrates, you see the word sugar. And if you know the amount of grams in there, you have to divide it by 4, because 1 teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams. And if you look at mince pies, there you think, oh, well, that's fruit, but it's dried fruit, and that's full of sugar. And what is happening when you eat sugary foods? Your blood sugar levels go up. the body needs to use that sugar up as energy, and anything that's not used up as energy is stored away as fat by the insulin, the hormone insulin. And women also, when they get older, their metabolism changes, their body changes, and they often put on a lot of weight. But that is preventable if you eat fresh basic foods. First of all, cut out sugar. Secondly, drink plenty of water. That's my second tip. Many of the clients that I get, they said, oh no, I drink 8 cups of coffee. And I'm thinking, oh no, that's terrible. And I drink 1 glass of water. That's not enough. Your body needs clean water. So at least 2 till 2.5 liters of water in your diet. And also have probiotic foods, good fats, as I said before.
Wow, thank
Does
you.
that help?
Yeah, yeah, yes. Thank you for your explanation. Thank you. Yes, simple steps because we need to change our habits step by step. And we need to be responsible. And then we can have a proper way to stay fit.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
and and then I noticed something because sometimes I read about books about chemic or scientist biography. I noticed something that when we eat junk food, it's like to put in the big storage something that is not proper food, but is could be related to um, material without any element to nurture our body.
No,
For
no,
example,
no nutritional value. Yeah. Hmm.
is that if we buy, for example, a package of lasagne bought in the supermarket, just the 10 percentage is food, and the 19 is something else. What's happened? I start storing this kind of stuff in my body, and then, in fact, if we have noticed that a lot of people get allergic, they have colon inflammation, they have a heart disease because we are storage in our body a lot stuff that is not made for humans. And so we have fat people, we have people that have problem with the skins, they lose concentration of hair, they have poor nails, so we have a lot of problems. I think we have a food love matters is this moment in the world, in the UK, especially in the UK.
Yeah. Well, it's because we are eating a lot of processed foods, and processed foods are full of nasty ingredients that is not real food. You're better to cook from scratch and make your own meal. Like now, the it tends to be that ideally we as human beings would eat in our diet a third carbohydrates, a third fat, and a third protein. Now, many people eat 60% carbohydrates and less protein and less fat, and that's not good. So, and they are short of time, so they go to the supermarket and they buy a ready-made meal. I've got like a ready-made meal here. I haven't got it with me, but from a supermarket, it's a sweet and sour chicken. It's got 52 grams of sugar per meal in there. Now, I said before, 4 grams is 1 teaspoon. So you can calculate that there are 13 teaspoons of sugar in that just one meal. If you
Oh my
know
God.
that the average person in the UK, according to the government, should not have more than 6 teaspoons of sugar a day, you're doubling that by just having one meal, which is a ready-made one at the supermarket. And in my opinion, you don't need to have any added sugar. Sugar is in your fruit, sugar is in your vegetables, in all the other healthy foods you eat. So why do you need to buy that rubbish? Sorry to say.
No, 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 it's true,
Um,
true.
yeah, and also, of course, you have like you said, at this time of the year, people are eating more. It's Christmas, they're overeating. And then they think, oh, don't worry about it. Next year I'll think about it and I'll go on a diet. But that is the worst thing you can do. Because if you do that many, many times up and down in your weight, the body will think, oh, she's going again. No, and it's not good for your body. It will respond in the wrong way.
Yes, it's really true. In fact, I have we have decided a topic. The why
Yes.
going on diet is a waste of your time. So,
Yeah.
Leonie, please, how? Sorry, why your opinion? Staying on diet could be a waste of time, in your
Okay.
opinion.
All right. I would be very happy to talk about that. And I want to start with a little story, if that's
Yes,
okay with you. Just bear with me, and then I'll discuss the reasons why I think it's not a good idea to go on a diet. And that is sort of expressed in the story. And then if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm very happy to help. And I'll tell you what I think the solutions are. So if I can start with my story, and it starts like this. It's Friday night, and Claire is at the theater with a friend. It's been a long week. She stayed much later than she planned to at work and responding to emails and dealing with some last minute issues. She feels drained and irritable, partly because work is so stressful, partly because she just had to replace the transmission on her car, and partly because she's on a diet and isn't allowing herself to eat the way that she normally would eat. She's excited about the diet though. She heard about it on television and immediately bought the book. She read through it and 3 days later got started right away. She visualized what finally losing all her excess weight would mean to her. She journaled about how she wants to feel comfortable in her body, look decent in a swimsuit, and go to the shop for clothes that don't make her feel depressing. She'd like to have more energy too. She's sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. For over a decade, she's had the nagging feeling that she's not living the right life. And she knows that a big part of in it is that she's not in the right body. It's finally time to do something about it. So right now, though, she is really hungry because she worked late. She missed dinner. She was good and avoided the crisps in the vending machine. But when she finally left her office, it was time to head directly to the theater with her friends. They're queuing up to buy their tickets and they're walking into the lobby. Her friend ambles over to the stand where you can buy nice snacks and lovely drinks. But Claire does the same. She goes with her. And after her friend has ordered, Claire hesitates for a moment. Finally, she decides to get a small popcorn, no butter, a Diet Coke, and a box of her favorite chocolates. She rationalizes that the popcorn is not too bad with about the butter, and the Diet Coke is fine because it has no calories. So clearly, of course, the chocolates are an indiscretion. But she went to the gym before her lunch, so she's fine. And she didn't have dinner. So she's practically starving. She'll get back on track first thing tomorrow morning. No real worries about it. But she doesn't. When she gets home from the theater, something psychologists called the what the hell effect kicks in. It's not a joke, it's actually a technical term. Because Claire broke her diet at the film and the theater and plans to go back on track the following morning. In the meantime, she says, I don't care. And she grabs any crisp to eat while watching television. Then she heads to the freezer and finishes off with the ice cream. And the next day, she feels sick and feels remorseful. She gets back on her diet, but within 2 weeks, the exceptions are coming more frequently. She isn't losing weight anymore. And before long, the bright and shiny weight loss special that held so much promise has joined the ranks of the dozens of other attempts in Claire's not so illustrious past. So that was the story of Claire. who was not successful at all on going on a diet. And I think that is something that happens to a lot of people. So, in my opinion, the reasons are that people who go on a diet, they are relying on willpower. Now,
Mm.
willpower, we have only got a little bit, about 15 minutes, because during the day we have to make lots of choices. Do we go left? Do we right? And it's only 15 minutes. So with food, that's not easily giving into that. Now, the second reason is that a lot of the food that we eat, and also Claire ate, is highly addictive. And we talked about sugar before. She had a snack and she thought, okay, once I eat sugar, I want more. And the addiction of sugar is 8 times more than from cocaine. So, and as I said before in our interview, if you have too much sugar, you don't burn it up, it will be stored as fat. So that's the second reason why I think diets fail. The third one is that Claire, in her situation, and lots of other people do, they're allowing an exception. So they say, okay, well, tonight I'm not going to do this diet. I'm going to eat something different. And then tomorrow I'll do the same again. I'll go back on my diet. And often that doesn't work because my brain will say, oh, okay, that's great. I'm happy again because sugar makes you happy. So that was the third reason. Now we have the fourth reason is that everybody's metabolism is different. And if your metabolism slows down, don't give it the right food, it will make you feel hungry. So if you go on a diet, often certain food categories are cut out and you don't get the nutritional value. So that's not good either. Now, the fifth one is physiologically such a difficult word for a Dutch person. We're all different. You're there, Christian, and you're completely different physique than me. So
Yes.
one diet that could work for you might not work for me. So don't go on the latest fat diet. So that was number 5. Then we have number 6, and we discussed that before, that many people are not eating the real thing. They're not eating real food. They're not eating their carbohydrates, their fats, and their protein in those sort of ratios that I discussed before, a third, a third, and a third. And the last one is that when you go on a diet, you don't change your eating habits. You just follow a plan for a certain period of time. And after that plan, you go back to where you ate before. And you need to change your eating habits. So that's why I always say I stop women from going on diets. I help them to make changes in their eating habits so that they can get healthy, lose weight, and feel great. So that's what the reasons are. And often people go on a diet and they think, oh, yeah, I can do that for 6 weeks. But they don't take all these other things in consideration, that you go out with a friend and you're going to have desserts and lovely sweets. And how strong is your willpower to stop not eating those, because you need to cut it out for a while. So, yeah. But does that mean that food is boring? No, not at all. I have a recipe book full of recipes, over 108. And then breakfast in there, lunches, salads, desserts, vegetables, fish, meat recipes, anything, vegetarian as well. So, yeah. So that was my reason why going on a diet is an absolute waste.
Thank you, Lonnie. Yes, I am agree with you because in my life I tried to go on diet, but I noticed that I came back to the origin situation, and then step by step I learned how my body, especially my mind, they respond to the stimulus around me, not just about food, but about anything else in my life. For example, I read,
Emotional issues,
yes,
financial issues, friends. Yeah, yeah.
yes, I learned that it's better to have less but enjoying,
Yeah.
less friends but few real friends, less books but just the proper books, less hobbies but the right hobbies for my situation, and learning that the stress is one of the reason people are starting to eat a
Mm,
lot.
mm,
Uh, I think because I am a life coach and a relationship coach. One of the reasons because people don't they interrupt their diet because they don't have two facts. One is a great deep motivation, and the second one because they don't have a goal, a proper goal.
Yeah. Hmm.
And the goal can change anytime because we are busy, we have our life, our family, our job, interest. But the motivation, I suppose, is the big uh, answer to put ourselves into the responsibility. Because if we are motivated, okay, now it's time to change, but not just the diet. Because as I told you before, I changed something in my life, how I thinking, I change my habits, I change my way I see the life, and so on. I learned to become not focused on the what is bad, but I just see few minutes on news, just few minutes, and then on the what my Facebook page I removed all the negative stuff because one of the reason people eat a lot, I think that then I want your opinion because you are so bombarded, you are surrounded by negative news, negative opinions, angriness around us. Our mind, we need, because we are human, we need something lovely to,
Yeah, and often Christian, people find they call that comfort eating, uh,
yes,
and the food helps them to make them feel happy, and then often there is an other reason why they feel that way. I've had a couple of ladies or clients here that they were just really unhappy in their work, so every time they came home from the office, they would have a glass of wine and a bag of crisps. Well, that is not the solution because they will actually, with their not a mental issue, but with their worries or their unhappiness, they will create more unhappiness by giving the body the wrong foods. So when I talk to clients like that, I mean, I am not a mental coach, but I'm more a physical coach. So I tell you, this is what you eat, and of course, clients talk to me as well. And I say, look, you have to sort your work situation out first. Talk to your boss, say why you're so unhappy, maybe find another job. Because if you are happier in your work, that will influence your health and the way that you eat. And it's the other way around as well. If you eat the wrong foods, you get maybe depressed and feel unhappy and get all sorts of, you mentioned that in the beginning, all sorts of health issues. And I keep saying food is your medicine, it helps, but it's easier said than done. I do realize that as well. And you mentioned it very correctly, actually, about you have to have a motivation and a goal, and you have to be prepared to make changes. Now, I told you my story, and in my story, I had a big motivation. I'd rather not take medication because I know all medication has side effects, no matter what. And the reason I didn't want to go on statins was that my mom and dad in Holland were advised to go off the statins, and my mom specifically because she was getting muscle loss. Her muscles in her leg were going. And I thought, I don't want that to happen to me. So that's how I had the motivation. I want to stay healthy for my children. I have two young children, two boys, and I have a goal. I want to be as long as life as possible as I can in a healthy body, that I want to do what I can do, like that I'm fit, I'm okay to go for walks. And I changed my life around nearly 13 years ago. If you would have seen me 13 years ago, I am now much more active physically and mentally happier than I was at the time. But it's not a quick fix. It took me 3 months initially, and then adhering to the way that I eat now. Is it different from how others eat? No, I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat a lot of gluten, and I have occasional treats. So 80% of the time I eat healthily, and 20% I have a meal and something that's not so healthy. Last night we went out for a lovely meal, and I shared the dessert with my husband, and that's fine because overall I'm eating healthy. So because oh, I can't eat that anymore, I can't do this. Well, yes, but sometimes you have to make changes for the better. And it's not that bad. There's lovely, lovely food around. You just have to know how to prepare it.
It's really true. And in fact, I noticed when I start eating more fresh vegetable, automatically my mind, my body, in a natural way, they shift
Yeah,
into drive me to buy natural stuff. If
yeah,
I eat more fruits, automatically after a couple of weeks, I go to buy just fresh food. Is I think our body is very smart to choose what is right for itself. And I want to ask you, uh, mm, because you are a nutrition coach, uh, if somebody came at you asking how I can stay fit, going on my proper diet, how you can support them? Because you have spoken about a goal, have spoken about have a motivation. How you could help your clients, my viewers, my friends, to start and go on realize what they want with your support.
okay. Well, as I said before at the beginning, I work with a plan. So I have a 3 months, I call it a healthy eating plan. And that is fully supported by me during the 3 months, so people can ask me questions. There are included recipes. There are online videos for people who'd rather see what I do. Clients come to me initially and we have an intake conversation, which is about an hour and a half. So I go through with them what they eat, what they drink, if they have any health issues as well. So that's an in-depth health review. I have a body scanner here, which I can make people's measurement, not only their weight, but I can tell them how much fat they have, overall body fat, visceral fat, how well hydrated they are, their muscle mass, their bone mass. So I get a course of body composition monitor, they call it. If they want, I can measure their blood pressure as well. And then they start on a journey with me, really. So they get a recipe book, an information booklet. During the 3 months, I want to make absolutely sure that my clients do get all the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals through the foods they eat. When they follow the plan, it's a quick like detox and cleanse of your body, which means that you get rid of all the fat and toxins, and that you're turning your body from a sugar burner into a fat burner. And to make absolutely sure, for the 3 months, we use 3 supplements. So they are protein, there are omega-3, and they have multivitamins. Doesn't mean that you need to take them after the 3 months, but because we're going through such a cleanse and detox, we don't want the body to lose anything. And during that time, the clients will also know what they should be eating. So we monitor that very good every 10 days, the first 10 days of when they start, they can send me emails what they eat, and I check with them, and it's all step by step. Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
So
it's
that,
amazing. Yes,
yeah,
I like. Then
it's a revamp.
you're so passionate, explaining clearly what they exactly had to do. Because another reason because people they give up to reach any goals because they don't have a clear in mind the plan.
No, I think the plan is the major thing, because when a client comes, I want to have information and I explain it to them. And if I see any hesitation, or they say, "Oh, do I have to do this?" and they're not prepared to do that, then I'm saying to them, "Look, then I'm not the right person for you." Because I know it works. It works for me, and it is worked for an over 250 people that I've helped. But you have to be prepared to make those changes. You can eat lovely food, just in a different way. Nuts, seeds, vegetables. You can have lasagna, you can have anything you want, but not out of a pot and not as a ready-made meal. So, yeah, people have to be prepared to make long-lasting changes in their eating habits. That's simple. I can do it, you can do it. It's a good
Yes.
question. What do you want? Yes, what do you
Yes.
want?
Because another reason, because a lot of reason, because I decided to interview you, is this one. As a relationship coach, I noticed that a few percentage of women, they are struggling to find a partner because they maybe or not are thinking they don't deserve a partner because they are not in their right body. So, uh, in your opinion, how you can help not just giving a proper diet program, but just setting up a step-by-step consultations to help these kind of women. They have this body. I don't remember exactly how it's called. Is is when we see in the mirror a different body.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, we are unhappy with ourselves, and this
Yeah.
can influence our life. Because if you see
Of
myself
course.
on the
Hmm.
mirror, oh no, I am too slim, or I'm too fatty, but it's not real.
I
And
think
then,
with women who feel like that, and I know maybe it is hard to say, but you're not what you look at the outside. You're what is in the inside. It's your personality, your character, your love, your friends, all the outside is important and the body is important. Uh, I think you need to keep it as healthy as possible and you need to nurture it. And you nurture it by looking after it. And if you feel down about your body and you feel negative, um, you need to work on it. And you can do that with somebody like me who holds your hand, holds you accountable, responsible. And there, I've gone through it myself. Fortunately, I never had any weight issues, but I was unhealthy. I had weight related conditions like high blood pressure and high cholesterol. They're often related with people being overweight, and I wasn't. I managed it, and I think that many people who feel that way can do the same. But coming back, it has you have to be motivated and have your goal in mind. I think that's very, very powerful that you mentioned that.
yes, and I'm very happy that you give this your opinion based on your experience and expertise. Because nowadays, especially with social media, we are using YouTube. That is one of the biggest search engine in the world after Google. And many people they want to stay on diet, but at the same time don't have a proper goal. They are confused because we are receiving a lot of uh, I can call scammer diet coach. They give a lot of tons silly advice and they confuse people. But every year we have a new diet,
Yeah,
plenty of diets, but it doesn't work because how you told in the beginning, we are different. I noticed something. Maybe I want to when they study and learn deeply about our ancient origins. For example, we as human we are evolved into what we are now, the Homo sapiens. But in the past, for example, Italian people they came from the Turkey, the
yeah.
Persia. Maybe
Hmm.
they sorry, their diet was different from today. The same like Viking, the same like Germans, Dutch people, British. So maybe today we are eating something that is not appropriate for our DNA. What do you think is possible? This explanation?
I think we are all the same. If you go millions of years back, mankind has evolved, and there are certain areas in the world where certain foods were introduced. Like in Asia, you have the rice. In America, you have the corn. We have the bread. We as human beings should not be really eating bread, the bread that we eat nowadays. That's nothing how our ancestors ate, nothing like they ate. I do a nut bread, which is basically very similar to what those people ate, because they have bread has got gluten in it, and our gut is not really made to. And in evolution, human beings only change 0.05% in a million years. So basically, we're still the same as those people that lived a million years ago. And they weren't feeding themselves with the foods that we eat. So gluten could be a reason. Milk, we didn't used to drink milk. Milk is meant to be for a cow. Coming from Holland, that's quite strong to say, because I grew up on milk. We had milk for breakfast, milk for lunch, and milk with dinner, plus all the extra yogurt and cheese that we ate. It's fine, but all in moderation. And sometimes that's when people get intolerance. They get dairy intolerance, they get gluten because they can't, their body can't stand it. I think it is important that you eat as natural as possible, as least processed. Yeah.
Yes, and then I feel given a suggestion to our viewers, your friends, my followers, so on, that is lovely going to buy something natural, visit London marketplaces,
Yes.
your village marketplaces, go and visit farm to your children.
Mm.
Um, yes, it's a good way to know how they farmers they give you their products. No, it's not a processed food. It's something natural. We can see with your eyes how like the honey is made, how proper dairy products are made. So it's better. An important aspect to nurture ourselves, not just with food, natural as much possible, but with new ideas,
Mm.
new perspective, a new point of view of the life. When we have our mind, our soul, and our body balanced, we can, in my opinion, accept ourselves and then go on with a proper diet. And you
Mm.
sure with
Mm.
your help, it is possible. Uh, Lonnie, you have just 10 minutes. I wonder, you are helping women or men or both of them?
Well, I focus on women because my past experience, I've had more women than men, but I can help men as well.
Okay, so somebody is watching our interview. Please contact Leonie because
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it is often I get couples, so I get a man and a woman and a man, and they do it together, which works really well as well. So yeah, yeah.
don't have any excuses because it's
No,
Christmas. So
no excuses. No,
after
no
Christmas,
excuses.
contact Leonie. She's will
Yeah.
happy to give you her. Do you have a free consultation for our viewers?
Absolutely. Anybody who is watching this video, just if you go to my website and you go to the contact page, you can book a 30-minute consultation with me. And we'll go through, see if we are a fit, if I can help you or not. And have a little chat, really, just to see how you're eating, what you're doing, and what I would recommend. And also, I want to offer one of your viewers one of my new recipe books, which is called Cook Right Forever. And that's over 108 recipes that are gluten and sugar free, low in carbohydrates, no E numbers, and low in lactose. And the winner, I want to do a little competition with your viewers. is that if you send me an email and the first one who gets the answer correct, yeah, the first one will win this recipe book for free. And the question is, do you know in which town my father used to have a bakery? And you can find that on my website. So the first one who gets the answer correctly, I'll be sending you one of those lovely recipe books in the post. Of course, you have only seen the front, but there's lovely desserts. I don't know if I can, yeah, there we are, I can see it. Things like that. This just gives you a little bit of an idea. There are also desserts in the book. There's plenty of fish. Yeah, I can't. It's difficult to show on camera, but things like
Yes.
fruit,
Wow.
very simple, very quick recipes. So easy to make, even chocolate mousse
Oh my God.
with
Yes.
banana. So just to whet your appetite, lovely baked pears. So all simple
Mm.
things. That's a chocolate breakfast. What about this? Banana pancake.
Wow. Mm. I like it.
Makes you hungry, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Spoken about 1 hour about to stay in diet.
Well, there's all healthy food.
Yeah. No, I spoke.
Nothing wrong with it.
Because yes. So please go on the Leonie Wright website, read her
Story.
biography, story, and then respond to her question. So you need to come back on the watching this live, and then respond to her by email. So she's very happy. And then if in meantime you have any question about your diet, how to keep yourself fit and healthy, Leonie will be happy to respond to your question. So don't be shy. Contact Leonie, respond to her question, and she will be happy to give a free recipe book that is so lovely. I want to read one of your books, of course. So, Leonie, we have just a few minutes. Do you have a quicker Christmas healthy recipe?
A quick, healthy recipe for Christmas. Oh,
Yes.
you're putting me on the spot. Well, I am going to, I've actually thought about this myself. Lovely treat. You can have a treat, but what about these chocolate cupcakes with coconuts?
Oh, wow.
They are fantastic and they are really, really good. Little bites, little treats. So you can have that.
Ooh. So it's another opportunity to buy or respond to Leonie
Question.
question, because you need to read the proper ingredients to make it this lovely Christmas healthy recipe.
Healthy snacks.
Yes. Okay. And then
Well,
another
Christian,
question.
I think I've answered all your questions. I'm really happy that you interviewed me today. I need to go.
Oh, okay, me too. Okay. So, Leonie, I'm delighted stay with you, give advice, suggestion. I want to give you my best greetings. Maybe
Thank
can
you very
arrange
much.
another interview. Merry Christmas, Buon Natale, and have a new year.
Vrolijk kerstfeest and a happy new year. And don't go on a diet.
Thank you. Contact Leonie.
Yay, I would love to hear from you.
Leonie, thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Grazie.